welcome back to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Today we're going to continue where we left off, where a child stole our money and we have to chase after him. This episode will be another one focusing on the tutorials in the game. Yes, the last two sequences with Jacob and Evie assassinating those two people weren't the only tutorials. Now the game has to introduce to us the side content that we'll be doing for the majority of the game.
Jacob!
But first, some little shit needs a beat down. If nothing else, we are at least finally in London proper. I do quite like the city, though that's sort of the reason why I bought the game in the first place, because I think it's an interesting setting and time period. We'll get plenty of opportunity to explore it later on. You might notice on the map there a few...
Fine, you little mobsman. Keep it.
Well, well. What do we have here? You're
That
on our
lady just
property.
appeared out of nowhere. Fortunately, violence is the only answer. You might notice a few icons on the map there. Those are collectibles that can be picked up throughout the city. I think I'll probably dedicate an episode of just going around and collecting them rather than doing it during all these missions.
Excellent. What else does London have to offer? Not since we were two.
Alright, now I have to race Evie to
Not
the
on my
top of
watch.
a building, and I'm actually at a tad bit of a disadvantage here because of the route I took. There's the optional objective of getting there faster than her, and I'm not exactly sure I'll be able to make it with how far away from the main path I've gone. Look, she's already over there. Here, I'll just restart from the last checkpoint. See, that's the disadvantage of trying to do things peacefully. I wanted to run away from those two thugs. Now I can't even run toward my objective fast enough.
Race you to the highest vantage point.
There we go. Now we're at a much more even start.
Not on my watch.
So Evie's gonna take a bit of a longer way up. And what you want to do, as I showed before, is just run up to this mechanism here, pull yourself up, and you should be able to hop on this rope here and get there before she even arrives at the roof.
Where is Mr. Green's shop located? It was marked on Father's map.
2 assassins. Equal in height. 1 female, 1 male. 2 decades old, and those devilish smiles. You must be the Fry twins.
And you are?
Henry Green, at your service. I was sorry to learn about your father's passing.
Thank you.
What can you tell us about Crawford Starrick?
I suppose the council desires news.
London must be freed, to provide a better future for all of its citizens.
Well, thank goodness the council saw reason and sent you to aid us.
Yes. Thank goodness.
Unfortunately, I am the bearer of bad news. Today, Starrick sits at the helm of the most sophisticated templar infrastructure known in the Western world. Every class, every borough, the gangs, the industries. His reach extends all across London.
I've always thought of myself as a gang leader. Firm, but fair. Huh. Well, I have uniforms. And I'll unite a mix of disenfranchised outsiders under one name. That's it, Evie. We can rally them to our side.
Oh, like the way that you rallied those card players at the open tavern into the river.
Oh, that was different. They beat me at whist. I can see it now. We'll call ourselves the Rooks.
You were never good at chess either.
Have you got a better plan?
Find the piece of Eden.
Oh,
Well, let me show you the lay of the land. Shall we?
Apparently Evie doesn't know that by rooks Jacob means Shut the fuck up, Henry. Means a species of bird. I think it is very telling of Jacob's character that the first thing he decided upon hearing about all the things Starrick controls is not to become a captain of industry or anything like that, but instead focused right on the game aspect. So we're going to climb our way up here and do our first synchronization. Those have been around since the start of these games and will serve as the ways to unlock fast travel in this game.
Look at what Starrick has done to the city. Whitechapel is riddled with crime. Child labor, despite regulations. A gang known as the Blighters overruns the streets, and Templars manipulating behind the scenes. As in all the other boroughs, we need to return this city to the people who built it in the first place.
We will free London from Starrick. You have my word.
and my Rooks.
Miss Fry, your passion is inspiring. Come, let us return to my shop, and I can bring you up to date on the rest.
Got a shitty romance subplot. So Evie's missions are gonna suck, at least a plot of them. Actually didn't notice what he said before there, child labor despite regulations. So I sort of pointed out that there were regulations passed for the sake of workers' rights prior to 1868. I guess the writers of the game sort of matched me on that. I still think the game should have started earlier and progressed to this point.
One of Starrick's gang leaders.
Why does he want you?
He's after some of my more arcane research into one of the precursor artifacts.
The piece of Eden.
So tell me about these blighters.
In search of an army, Starrick gathered up the nastiest of the underworld. Some of the city's gangs tried to prevent it and were slaughtered for their efforts. Now, only Whitechapel's clinkers remain opposed, but they're no match for the blighters.
Well, let's shine these clinkers up then, shall we?
Henry,
They're
please
just
slow
the
down.
sort we're looking for.
You can't be serious.
Evie, they're ready to fight and oppose the blighters. This is my chance to step in. Look out, London. Here come the Rooks.
Oh, now he decides to speed up. He walks too fast to walk by him, but too slow to run by him. Now he runs too slow to run by him. Just have to strafe.
Confound this city! No one looks where they're going!
Yes, I've noticed that.
Bloody Drood! I'll never finish it at this rate. Only Providence knows where those words are headed now. Well, I must get to work replacing them. Should you ever be in the mood for a tale or two, you can always find me where the ale is warm and tempers are hot. Ta-ta!
What an odd man.
That Mr. Fry was Charles Dickens. Knows everyone and everything in the city. If I were you, I would keep that connection in your back pocket. Kaylock's gang is nearby. They must not follow me back to my shop.
We'll take care of it.
Here, you might be able to use this.
Oh God, I hope so.
My carriage is nearby. Make use of it to throw them off my trail. I will meet you at the curio shop.
And here we're going to be introduced to driving. Among all the other ways
We need to lead them away from greed.
among all the other ways to get around the streets of
Here
London,
comes trouble.
we can hop into carriages and drive through the streets like a civilized human being. Go fast and hold a direction and press X to rail.
They're gone!
Now to return to Mr. Green.
Aye, aye, Captain.
You're relentless.
That relentlessness will see me become master when we finish this.
George would do nothing of the sort. Whatever's left of the Creed would perish under your control.
Harsh words, dear sister.
I do hope Mr. Green made it back safely.
Don't tell me you fancy the bloke already.
And what do you suggest we do if our number one source of information turns up dead?
Starrick can't be that hard to find. I say we turn the carriage round and go find him.
This is why you aren't in charge.
Steady on.
As you can probably see, the carriage can take damage,
fine,
but
girl.
I don't think it can actually break apart. And the horses are completely invincible when
Who's
you're
a good
riding
horse?
them.
You are.
Also, as you can easily see, there's a little line on the floor directing you to where you need to go. It's basically a GPS system.
Walk on, girl.
And also, it doesn't count as killing civilians when you run them over. Thankfully.
Steady on. That's the way.
The thing I don't like is you have to continuously press A to gain top speed. Since there's a few carriage races in the game, you're going to be pressing A lot.
Whoa!
By the way, Evie.
Did you give them the slip?
We gave them more than that.
Who are all these people?
Over the years, I have established a number of connections across the city.
Splendid. We'll need focused aid.
Focused aid. We take over Starrick's gangs, we cripple his control.
You're not aiming high enough. Starrick has influence in every branch of society. We need to match him.
I see what you're saying, Evie. We need the Rooks.
You are not starting a gang called the Rooks.
I believe I may have an idea of my own. We will need the police to turn a blind eye to activities. My ally in the force, Sergeant Abeline. I've heard he's a master of disguise. Next up, urchins.
Urchins.
Urchins. Children make for excellent spies.
Child labor.
Clara O'Day.
Smart as a whip, that one. Finally, you would be wise to remember that Starrick never acts alone. There are gang leaders in every borough. You'll meet them soon enough, no doubt. Rexford Gaylock, known for his ability to vanish before your very eyes.
Should we make him vanish for real?
I suppose.
One moment. A Templar target you might want to look into. Be cautious. It's rough out there.
No, don't worry about me, Greenie. I can handle a few thugs.
Somewhere that screen completed, and the challenge to arrive before Evie, though it took an extra attempt because I managed to run way too far to beat her naturally. We managed to do that. Got significantly less money and experience than we did with the first two missions. The London map. Press one of the pause buttons to access the London map. Complete conquest activities to capture territory from the Blighters. Kill the Templar crime boss to conquer the entire borough. And as you can see, there's 4 challenges. There's a Templar hunt. There's freeing child labor. There's kidnapping a criminal. And there's clearing out a stronghold. We'll start left to right with the Templar hunt against heraldry. Oops.
What's the plan then, oh mighty planner?
You're the one with the grand ideas. The gangs, the fights, even the outfits you'll wear. Perhaps you should lead the way.
If you insist.
Switch characters. Press another pause button to open the main menu and push down right control to switch between Evie or Jacob. Evie favors a stealth approach, whereas Jacob is more confrontational. Evie and Jacob share money, XP, rewards, but have a separate gear and skills. Which means that, like, if you get, say, 2 skill points and you spend both of them on Evie, then Jacob will still have his. In fact, I do believe that we do have skills we have not yet unlocked for Jacob, like loot takedown, which you might remember I purchased for him, or for Evie, in the last episode. And as long as we're here, should also get lockpicking 1, because there's a chest with a level 1 lock by the Templar. Open locked chests to find money, resources, and rewards. All you need to open up any of the chests is a sufficient lockpicking skill. And with the chests, there's no mini games like the sliding bar one in Unity. It's just hold down B to unlock. These little mini areas sort of serve as a similar thing to the fortresses, I think you could call them, in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Can't wait, child. There's a lot of Templars here, well, Blighters. A few of them have Templar crosses on their sleeve. You know, you're a super secret organization. What do? You wear your logo on your sleeve, of course.
No Bobby's in sight.
Someone's here. Good. Distribute the dynamite then, and carefully.
Oops.
Very good, sir.
Pissed them off.
This is your last bound.
Make sure none of these guys are target. Oh, that guy's the target. There he is. Look at him. He has his damn logo on his sleeve. Now, if you kill the target, I haven't figured out how you're able to reset and go for the challenge. So I'm just going to die right here. We'll respawn and we'll try again. Not the cleanest or, you know, most efficient way to restart a challenge, but it'll get the job done, and we should respawn, yep, right by the area. So now how are we supposed to do this really? Oh, look around, try to spot out everyone you need to take down. This guy, well, he isn't supposed to be a part of the area challenges, but I guess he'll just wander over and try to spot me. I'm gonna try to assassinate a few of them because of the automatic loot pickup. You saw right there I had one throwing knife, and after I assassinated that other guy, I got 2. So as soon as this guy turns around, come on, buddy. He should be far enough away from the main target to not aggro him. Oh, I just used my 2 throwing knives accidentally. That's a problem with button mashing gameplay. You can sometimes have a slip of the finger. Not too bad though, these people are low level. And as long as you keep mashing X. Well, it was supposed to be a display of a double kill, but I guess the horse had other ideas. Keep mashing X. You don't even have to really stop their blocking, just keep wailing on them for duration. Oh my fucking god, really, how many of you are here? Horse! Are you serious, mate? The horses are against me. This guy's level 3, we're playing with big boys now. As I was saying before, if they block, you know, just keep trying to punch them, and eventually they'll try to punch you, and that's when you can just quickly tap B twice to dodge and counter. So I'm just gonna, you know, fill up these corpses here. Hey, guys. Oh, I guess I already looted this one. There you go, guys. No. Oh, this one doesn't have anything, and oh, this guy actually has something. Alright, I got 2, and that's actually plenty for me here. Going to throw a knife at him. I was going to try to get a headshot and then run over and assassinate the other guy, but I guess he had other plans. Are you making a liar of me with my previously described strategy, buddy? I'm supposed to try to retaliate. There we go. How easy it is.
I'll gut you like a fish.
I like how just brutal he punched him down after that one knife slash. Alright, so now that I'm done on the outside here, I can at least get this guy here.
How many crates do we have left to distribute?
Only about a dozen, sir.
And there's the enemy, Harold Drake. These guys are high-level Templars who, you know, as you can see, have no qualms about revealing the fact they're in a secret society. It is quite nice, however, that we're able to, you know, they have a name.
Where did he come from?
Oh.
Can't hide from me, boy.
Right here a moment ago.
Use smoke bombs and run away. I played through this specific one yesterday in sort of preparation, and I did a lot better than I'm doing now. Okay, Bill. So he's gonna wander around all suspicious. Hopefully he doesn't come to the hay bale. And then after a while, he'll give up and wander back to his original location.
No Bobby's in sight.
And take this opportunity to have a little stabby time here. And I'm going to equip my pistol because he will walk by some crates of dynamite. And it'll be a lot easier just to shoot the dynamite.
I saw you under the oak tree. If I catch you near her again, you'll regret it.
Am I interrupting something, gentlemen? Alright, there's dynamite.
Very good, sir.
We want this to come into the blighter's hands without harm. No mishaps.
Come on. Gotta make sure I actually shoot the dynamite. It'd be easier to perch and there we go. That took a lot longer than it needed to, but job's done.
Grab him! Drag him out!
I got one kill in. We're gonna have a little tumble here.
I'm in trouble now.
Can press triangle for a quick shot. Alright, come on. Alright, here's you. Why the hell do you wear your crosses on your arms like that? You don't see us walking around with giant assassin symbols on our arms.
Look at that rock!
You know what this series really needs? It needs a third party. Not just the Assassins and Templars, but like a third secret society. You know, some really upstart new secret society that's really gonna shake things up. You know, the real winners. Assassins, Templars are both dorks. We're the Freemasons. Anyways, here's a locked chest. Pick lock. And we got colors green, which basically just lets us customize our outfits. Might as well go for some money as well. The chemicals and metal thing there will be used for crafting later on. So, though I've made it far more difficult than it needed to be, Templar uncompleted, challenges, kill the target with a crate of dynamite, rewards 132 pounds plus 75 and 300 experience points, and we made Henry Green a little bit more of a happy camper than he once was. Associates and loyalty. Find associates throughout London and aid them. Aiding associates increases their loyalty to the Rooks. Loyalty unlocks unique and valuable rewards. So we get golden knives. Alright. Next we'll visit Sergeant Aberline. Oh, come on, boys. Why you gotta be like that? Now it's some more of you. Alright, well, I'm just skedaddling. You dorks can hang out there all you want, I'm out. Occasionally have to dodge gunfire, but it's not too hard. Disappear into the alley. Get out of the way, buddy. And we'll eventually lose them. There we go. I'm going to reload. Later on we'll be able to get guns with far more ammunition than just this rinky-dink 2 bullets we have to fire. Might actually do that before the gang fight if I find a shop anywhere. And actually there's one right there, so I'm gonna take a very brief detour and go in that shop and see what I can find.
What's that?
Like a leg.
There was one too for you guys decide to be like this. Alright, shopkeep. Oh jeez, talk about police brutality. Get ourselves some throwing knives, and it looks like we can't buy anything better. But that's fine. Throwing knives are very useful. They're a bit a bit overpowered since they're silent and can take people out in one shot. Sorry about hitting the mic there.
don't see Mr. Aberline.
Well, we tried.
I may know a thing or two about that splendid fellow you're talking about.
What's this?
Are you trying to blow the gaff?
What?
Sergeant Aberline, at your service. I presume you're the Fry twins Green mentioned.
I was expecting you to be a policeman.
I was expecting you to be discreet.
Henry Green said that you could help us go unnoticed.
This is how it will work. I will give you the names of criminal gang members. You will bring them back to me. Quietly.
Oh, we'll be as quiet as an old lady. A very hairy, strange old lady that looks a lot like a policeman.
Now, whatever you do, try to remain within the bounds of the law. For my sake. I don't need any corpses at the station. Approach the target from behind and attempt to make them talk. Then bring them to my carriage, carefully.
When I did this mission yesterday for practice, as he was saying that, one of the blighters walked up and I assassinated him right in front of Aberline. Didn't seem to have too much of a problem with it. Take the memory target captive and bring them to a drop-off point. And the challenge is to bring them there alive. Kidnapping. When undetected behind an enemy, press B to kidnap them. Move slowly near enemies to shrink your detection radius. Moving faster will make it easier for enemies to detect you. Press B to shove a kidnapped captive into an enclosed carriage. And there's our perp now.
We got a visitor!
No, we don't. There's a perp going on.
I've got a shot at him!
Yeah, when I'm spotted, the perp runs. But if you run after him and manage to tackle him, even if there's like a whole swarm of assholes running near you, he will just stand still while you kill them all.
You'll be sorry you came this way! Oh, mate, you're sorry if you keep at it!
See, right here he's not moving anymore. I have to kidnap Homer Dalton.
You want to...
Alright, Dalton.
You won't get away!
I didn't actually want to do that. Hold on. Alright. Should be anonymous, and let's just pretend that Bobby's gonna do well. Oh, he's just taking a nap.
Get off me! Piss off!
Don't think I will.
Oi!
Shut your gob.
I can just
Meet
run
my
over.
blade.
What is it that you think I've done?
Collecting rent from people who don't owe you a shit.
Get off me! Piss off! Oi!
Shut your gob. Meet my blade.
What is it that you think I've done?
Collecting rent from people who don't owe you a shilling.
Yeah, me and half the richies in this bloody city. You gonna kidnap them too? Help! Help!
Alright, you might have noticed there the little prompt A, restrain. The captives will try
Who's a
to
good horse?
break free, just press A, and when that happens, a circle around you under your feet might get bigger and, you know, overlap with some enemies. There is an
That's
ability
the way.
you can unlock to ensure they don't try to escape. I'll just rush on over. Doing so within the boundaries of the wall. And as soon as I've aggroed the glider, no matter, I'm way too slow to notice us. And there we go, Aberline.
We'll be glad to see him behind bars. Thank you.
Come on, you silly
Brought back to target alive, got 132 plus 75 pounds and 300 experience, and a little bit of positive attention from the sergeant himself, as well as a chunk of the burrow cleared. Next we'll be doing the gang stronghold. And I've earned a skill point. Alright, good news all around. Here's a little street mission. Gotta kill the criminals. There's a few of these street missions around. Gain experience from them, and not really much else, right, buddy?
Don't bite back now, will you?
Live in Whitechapel here. What I want to say is that Frederick Albertline is the first friendly historical figure we get involved with. Yes, Charles Dickens was in that cutscene earlier, but we don't get to meet up and have a chat with him until a bit later. Albertline, as I said before, was a historical figure and is best known for being the lead investigator during the Jack the Ripper murders. He's presented in the game as, like, you know, a really straight cop, no BS, trying to abide by the law, so it's kind of odd that he would then turn a blind eye to what's essentially a murderous secret society. I think I can do this without getting noticed. Yep. And somehow that got 3 out of 5, even though I've only done 2. Alright, so for these gang strongholds, we have to kill off all the enemy blighters, and sometimes there's clinkers, later will be called rooks, in the area that need rescuing. My advice is don't free the rooks first, because then they will get themselves killed, and then you will fail the optional objective. So look around for blighters that don't have rooks right beside them, and then only when you sort of clear everyone else out do you save them. So there's one of the rooks or clinkers. I'll just call him the rooks because that's what he will be later on. That better not be a clinker there, or rook. Yeah, I can't even be consistent. Yeah, see what I mean about knives being a bit overpowered? And Jacob isn't, you know, supposedly the stealth character. But I think I mentioned in the first episode that the whole stealth versus brawling dynamic is not that severe between the two characters. Like, Evie can fight, Jacob can hide. It's not as bad as the game made it out to be. So this, of course, being an Assassin's Creed game, gonna be sneaky. Way too far. Oops. Gonna hop along the roofs later on. We'll get an item that'll let me do this a lot easier. But as not right now, and I don't think we'll be getting to that this episode. Alright, you see that eye above his head? That one? If he spots you, he will call for reinforcements. So, you know, be a little bit careful. Almost got them all. Oh shit, one right there. I'll get that one first. And they actually have identities. Well, see, lookout advantage. When detecting intruders, lookouts run to the main shelter and call for reinforcements. So, of course, we don't want that. So we gotta do what we do best. Kill people who disagree with us. And there's dynamite, but let's not get fancy with that. I think that one clinker right there is the old. Nope, there's one right there. I knew there were two. Alright. I should be able to kill this guy, leap down, and assassinate the other. Let's try it. Oh. Well, when in doubt, use a gun. And there we go. These stronghold missions take a bit longer, I think, than a lot of them if you are playing stealthily. Protect the captured blinkers. And of course Henry Green liked that for whatever reason, even though he doesn't have much of a view on blinkers versus blighters, as Jacob might. But whatever. You know, he can be happy with our work if he wants. Then we have the last of the 4 side missions, freeing the children.
You seem to want my employer's attention, Mr. Fry.
Oh, I positively crave it. But you'll do for now.
As you like.
And there he goes away. Occasionally when you free a stronghold, there'll be these little gang wars here. And good rook fell.
But he doesn't have enough coin.
Is it wrong if I much rather would have had our uniforms be red rather than green and yellow? Look at these guys, they look so dapper.
Serves you right.
Now that we've got our own little gang here, all the clinkers you find around London will now be rooks. And we can actually recruit them and get a few of them to follow us. I believe it's possible to, yeah, it should be possible to upgrade your character to be able to recruit more rooks at a time. Getting these guys to follow you isn't too much of a hassle. They generally stay up, and during the promotional interviews for the games, the developers have mentioned that if you and like one other rook go on a carriage, but you have, let's say, 3 following you, the 2 rooks remaining will steal their own carriage and use that to follow you as well. So they won't be left behind as easily. I'm not exactly sure how well that actually works. I haven't really noticed it one way or the other. But, you know, fair's fair. This guy is keeping up with me pretty well, as you can see on the map here. Hey Evie, I brought a friend! Doesn't he look dapper? Look, he has amazing taste in hats. I have a hat very similar to that, but it's black. Alright, to catch an urchin. Jacob and Evie search for the elusive Clara Odea. That's how you pronounce it.
What is this place?
It's nice to meet you both at last. This is Babylon Alley. Here we make it our business to know the streets and provide children with the opportunity to control their own destinies.
Clara. Mr. Green said we might be able to help one another.
In exchange for our services, we ask a small favor.
Well, why not? You seem to have taken most of my money. Why not take a small favor, too?
There are several factories about the city that are powered almost entirely by child labor. Those children work long hours with little pay, and most are not permitted even to leave the factory grounds. They suffer terribly. I need you to save them.
A small favor.
In return, we offer you intelligence, something you clearly need.
Now, hold on a minute.
I'm late for an appointment. What are these terms?
We accept.
Pleasure doing business with you.
They're trying really hard to make her seem like a very savvy business person who knows the ins and outs of these streets and what it means to live the rough life. A bit like the girl in that movie True Grit, if you've seen it. Honestly, she just comes off as an asshole. I'm just gonna be honest, she's not really a character I particularly like. We only have 2 knives. I'm just gonna take a real quick detour over to this shop here and see if I can't purchase myself 3 more. Yeah, plenty of bullets.
Come back again,
Gotta get those overpowered knives. Fortunately, we can't buy more smoke bombs from the shops yet, but that will change in the future. Wonder why Jacob and Evie aren't that well equipped for it. Well, I've already aggroed this guy.
Less chitter-chatter and more work! Next one to utter a word spend the night chained to the fence!
You done being an asshole? I'm trying to sneak up on this brutish bald man. Let's look around. We want to free all the kids, but we don't want to trigger that alarm. And the alarm gets triggered when enemies run over to it and ring it. Just like in a lot of the older Assassin's Creed games. So just keep your eagle vision primed, look around. I see one guy up there, and yep, able to shoot him pretty easily. There should be one person up there, yep. Running up to the children and pressing D will free them. And unlike with the captured rooks or clinkers or whatever, yeah, you really look like you're begging there. Begging can wear you down, better stretch out. Unlike the freed rooks, they won't try to fight the enemies, meaning they won't get killed. Oh shit. He's gonna run for the alarm. Just kick his ass before he can touch that bell.
Don't let him! I'll make this shot count! I'll enjoy carving you!
I think somebody poisoned me. Technically, the alarm isn't triggered despite me fucking up. So that's kind of a nice thing about this part. There's a little bit of leniency if you do decide to be rough and tumble, as you know, Jacob is supposed to be. So you can kind of see what happens when you do aggro them. One guy gets an alarm bell above his head and he'll run down to let the lack of freedom ring. But since we killed them all, just gotta free them.
I'm here to help.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
If you do manage to actually free the children without killing all the enemies, there'll be a little bit of a different cutscene where some of the rooks will come in and finish off the enemies for you.
I'm helping you out.
Much appreciated, Mister.
There we go. And, you know, the game continuously, you know, just keeps making a liar of me. It showed the cutscene right there. There's like cutscenes where the rooks come in and try to comfort the kids, and ones where they come in and kick people's asses. Once you clear out a stronghold, you're able to fight the big boss of the area. I will say right now, you know, since I'm in the burrow here, it's a bit interesting that Whitechapel has the least amount of areas you need to clear out. Like, you can even see here all the different little sections. There's a lot. And Whitechapel has less than even the River Thames. Even though historically it was sort of the area with a lot of crime and a lot of poverty. So you'd think it would have more, but no. It's just the starting area. From a narrative point of view, that does make a bit of sense, actually, since this is sort of Jacob and Evie's introduction to the unfairness of London. Get over here, bitch.
Looks like trouble is brewing.
Don't do that again.
I'll rip you apart.
People are in a bit of desolate ruins and poor and downtrodden, so of course we want help. You know, if we went in and saw Westminster instead, it would be a lot harder to justify this valiant crusade. Confront Rexford Kaylock. Okie dokie then, let me get out of these slums and find myself a horse and carriage. So here's what I'm thinking about doing for the series moving on. I think there'll be episodes dedicated to clearing out the burrows. Hear that music? There's little music boxes here that unlock a special outfit. Let's not get distracted anymore. Not even that far away from it, I can walk. I'm going to do episodes dedicated to clearing out the burrows, so however many it takes to do so, 1, 2, 3, whatever, I'll do those in chunks. And then between that will be the story missions. And since the game actually continues on even after you beat the main story, after that I'll do the special missions for the historical characters and the collectibles, well, some of them. Alright, Whitechapel Gang War. Suggested level 2. Fight Rexford Kaylock's gang and conquer Whitechapel. Before we do that, let's make sure we have our skills up to par. And it looks like it gave us this one for free. In order to unlock the next branch of skills, we need to buy up enough of the ones from this row in order to level up and unlock some more. So now some of the ones below unlocked, and I will be purchasing this one to help out with some of the burrow missions. And this one seems pretty good too. Here's the ones I unlocked. Health boost 1, increase your health by 1 segment. Slayer 1, when your combo reaches ×10, your next attack automatically puts the target in a near-death state. Intimidation, kidnapped enemies will no longer try to escape. And you unlock Kidnap just by playing a mission. Press B to kidnap unsuspecting enemies and force them to walk with you. This can allow you to access restricted areas in plain sight. And Leadership 1, press RB to recruit rooks to follow you. Hold RB to bring up advanced commands. You may have up to 2 rooks following you at a time. I'm going to switch to Evie temporarily in order to upgrade her as well. We will also be giving her more health. We'll be giving her lockpicking. You know, I say both characters are pretty much the same. You can see right here they have most of the same skills. And we'll be doing... let's see here. I'll do stealth next time. I'll do intimidation just so that she's on par with Jacob as far as being able to do all the things we want her to do for the missions, and we might as well purchase something else. I think Eagle Vision 2 will be more useful for her starting out. Of course, Jacob will get all this too. Your Eagle Vision now allows you to see through walls to watch and tag enemies. That sounds fantastic. Let's get it. There we go. Now, of course, Jacob is the one who wants to have these little gang fights, so we'll let him initiate it. Alright, Henry. Let's do this. Have a toss and tumble with one of the Blighter gang leaders. Make it atmospheric.
Ah, there you are. All that stands between you and Whitechapel is the villain controlling the borough. Kaylock has demanded you settle the claim for territory in a gang fight.
His loss?
Yeah. I'm sure he can put this to better use than I can.
Oh, what's this, Greenie? Assassin Christmas.
Gather your allies.
Gearing up. Reaching higher levels allows you to equip better weapons, accessories, and outfits. Press one of the pause buttons to access the inventory menu and in order to purchase and equip better gear. Gear can be upgraded to improve their stats and reach their full effectiveness. So here we have some of Jacob's gear. He can have a cane sword, he can have some brass knuckles, and he can have cougar eyes. Those are your 3 ways to attack enemies or melee weapons. Now personally, I think cane swords are pretty badass, and I have enough money to buy this one, so we shall do just that. The Noble Cane Sword. If you're feeling just a bit posh, look no further than the ebony, gold, and silk of this well-balanced weapon. The effectiveness of the weapon scales up as you go down, which makes sense, but it is sort of unfortunate if you find a weapon you really like the look of, but it's not a very high level, so there's no justifying keeping it around. And you can also upgrade your weapons, but it doesn't seem like I can do so won't let me at least.
Mr. Rexford Kaylock has agreed to your terms and waits for you at the Whitechapel train station. He's bet his train on the fight.
No Kalok. No matter.
Alright. Save our ammunition, and just fight with our fists. Very easy. And then here's him, Kalok himself. Oh, running away like a little bitch? Come on, man. That ain't right. Get over here and take your ass whooping like a man. Right? Oops. Oh, supposed to dodge that. Let's reload. Hey, come on. Don't put a knife to a gunfight. And there we go. The fun of bullshitting our way through it.
It appears to be broken.
Oh well. At least we have a train now. It's not all bad.
It would be hilarious if one of the bridges just smacked them both on the head. So that wasn't much of a fight.
Kalok is dead! Whitechapel is no longer in the hands of the Blighters.
You now have the chance to join our ranks. We welcome all who would stand up to Starrick and his cutthroats.
He's regretting the green and yellow color scheme. The greenish yellow.
Welcome to the Rooks.
I'm sad that Jacob wasn't offering a hug. Poor guy.
Ah, you bastard. I'd rather throw myself to the tracks than run Bertha another mile for that doted ball bag.
Kalok? He's left the station.
Well, hello, fancy pants. And who might you
I'm Evie
be?
Fry, and this is my brother, Jacob Fry.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Agnes McBean.
A delight.
I thought I was getting a promotion. I suppose I'm out of work now.
Come work for us instead.
I won't bile your heat. You pay better than scraps?
I'm sure we can at least match that.
Then may I present to you Agnes and Bertha, lady and locomotive, at your service. I'll be in the next car.
A hideout on the rails. What an excellent
Where did you
idea.
come from?
Yes, it all worked out rather well. Now, I would like to follow up a lead on... Jacob? Is this serious?
I'm not doing anything until this gets fixed.
I believe I know someone who can help with that.
I knew you would, Greenie.
And there we go.
You know, a mite of money goes a mickle bit in this city. Think of the power of good you can do with the purse you bring.
Alright, so like some of the past games, now that you have your own little hideout here, there'll be occasional income that comes
You talk of
in.
a store in London. Well, now's your chance. That there map shows who to speak to. Old friends, if you will. Give 'em a whiff of that sterling, and maybe you can save us all from having to lay down our knife and fork afore we're ready.
saying before, you'll get the occasional money put into your safe here as time goes on while you're playing, while the game is open and you're playing. So, you know, head back every so often, especially when the game tells you that your safe is full. Then you can go to this map and, you know, all the fun of upgrading Jacob and Evie? Well, we can upgrade the city. First thing the game wants us to do is let us buy some medicine. Certainly, that might help out with all the times I fucked up. And a few of these are locked behind missions. Let's see here. You can now buy medicine in shops. Use medicine with the up button during combat to quickly recover health. We can upgrade our crew. I'm going to do the little rooks. Children are the best thieves in London. Yeah, so Jacob knows. When using RB to interact with them, they'll give you better loot items. I have no idea why chemicals and ingots are supposed to help them be better thieves, but alright. And unfortunately, I cannot get Pub Investor because there's 2 resources that I need to get. I find the resources economy to be a bit overbearing because there's, well, I guess it's gonna be a cutscene. So I'll have to finish this thought later. Damn games and all its cutscenes. And it even mocks me by taking a while to load. Alright, so here's the next mission. And we also have the associate Robert Topping, who you should remember is a chap we rescued earlier. Is there really not a cutscene? I could have sworn that character Ned would appear right about now and, you know, give us her missions or whatever, but I guess not. So I can finally complete what I wanted to say, and what I wanted to say is that I find the various amounts of resources, or money I should say, in this game to be a bit cumbersome and lackluster. There's the usual British pounds, there's the, you know, chemicals, the ingots, the leather, those sort of stuff. And then in order to get certain weapons and items, there's also these rare resources that are found in very select chests. The golden chests. But I'm sure I'll be able to bitch about all that a bit later in more detail. As for now, it looks like we've done quite a bit already. I take a look at the map here. Yep, here's the next mission, Freedom of the Press. And I'll probably do this one next episode, and then I'll do an episode clearing out this burrow here. Or actually, I think I'll clear out the burrow here in an episode and then do Freedom of the Press. Yeah, it all depends, honestly, what I think of. But that does conclude this episode. I hope you enjoyed it despite the fuck-ups that I've gone through. And that gave you something to think about and otherwise entertained you. Take care.